What's up, guys? It is me, Jake from Jake's Games, and today is the first official podcast of JD Entertainment Podcast, and I am with Johnny Mueller from Johnathan Productions. Johnny, thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Today we are going to talk about a whole bunch of things. We're going to talk about Welcome to the Game, what we've learned in the past, what upcoming future projects, what other things we want to do after Welcome to the Game, and other things after 5 stages. So, Johnny, I'm going to ask you one question.
Okay.
And then we're going to work from there.
Okay.
So, my first question is, what have you taken in from the last videography classes that you've taken the last year and a half, 2 years?
Nothing. No.
Thank you, Johnny, for being here.
It really just has been the craziest 2 years of my life. First going into it, I'm thinking, this is just me, just myself, just getting through these classes and just kind of doing stuff on my own. Mm-hmm. But as the years and semesters progressed, I now have this whole network of people like you and just almost everyone in the classes that we meet. We are now just, working on stuff together and just creating these cool projects. I mean, we did Welcome to the Game, and now we're working on your show, 5 Stages of Payback, and we got more films coming up next year to announce. But just overall, what I've learned is you can't do this stuff alone. It's truly a team effort, and because of that, I got more friends. But also just being able to just have fun. I think we've had so much fun with what we've done so far. So I think that's the biggest thing I've learned.
I would totally agree. We have met some very interesting people. People that we still talk to, people who we don't talk to. But I love that how we all come together and we're all making something new. You're working on Scrutinize, a prequel to Welcome to the Game, mm-hmm. and you actually got a producer, Sam Hammer. Shout out to Sam Hammer, who's going to be an actor in my 5 stages, and shout out to you, Sam Hammer. Thank you for being interested in Welcome to the Game Scrutinize. I mean, that's fantastic. How did you actually get to meet him, and how did you actually get in touch with him?
So I want to make something clear. I'm not allowed to disclose. Well, no, that's fine. I just mean I can't disclose, one name and whatnot. But
no, I get that.
We first met actually a year ago. So even before before any of that, in St. Charles, they were filming that movie, The Killer.
Oh yeah, you guys told me about that.
Yeah. So when that came out, or they were starting to make it, I posted on Facebook and What's Happening St. Charles, just behind the scene pictures. I'm like, guys, this is so cool. It's awesome that St. Charles is finally getting a proper movie. Can't wait to see it. And Sam friends me on Facebook for whatever reason, and he just hey, I saw your post. That's cool that you're into the film industry stuff. And I'm like, yeah, are you as well? And he's like, yeah, I work in the lighting department. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, what? Just for stuff around here? He's like, nah, I've worked on Marvel. I've worked on Shameless. And I'm like, whoa,
that's insane.
Holy shit,
that's insane.
So then after that, we just stopped talking. After that conversation, it just went silent. So then, following after Welcome to the Game, we were in October, so a week after we first released Welcome to the Game, he texts me back and he's like, hey, it's been a while, but how you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing fine, I guess. And he's like, have you released that movie yet? And I'm like, yeah, it's out already. And he's like, huh, do you think it's possible I can watch it? And then from there he asked me, what else are you working on? And I'm like, well, I'm working on a second one. And he's like, let me watch this one, and I'm going to reach out to you if I want to be interested in this project or not. And I truly didn't know I assumed he meant money and whatnot. So then after that, he gave me a phone call, and from there, the rest is history.
He became our producer, and that's insane.
So, it's a huge blessing, but it's also just an awesome opportunity. He himself, obviously he works in the lighting department, but he wants to be a producer.
Yeah.
He says the fact that he can be a producer for a film like this and for it to be in St. Charles, he says that's the best part.
And the fact that you guys live so close to each other, you guys can meet anytime, talk to each other, it's great. And Sam Hammer is working on, he's going to be the police officer in my film, 5 Stages, because he wants to be an actor as well. And he thought the opportunity would present itself in my 5 Stages, and I'm actually really excited. I got to meet him. He's a great guy, and I'm so excited to work with him. And that's so great, Johnny. That's fantastic. And how did you come up with the script for Scrutinize? Did you already have something in mind, in motion, while you were filming?
Believe it or
the first one?
Believe it or not, when I just got the script for the first film. I already knew I wanted a second film.
See that?
I already knew. Like, so when we were filming the scenes, I was gathering in my head ideas on what I could use, like how I can reference these scenes for Scrutinize.
That is
like I didn't tell anyone. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just like, okay, yeah, cool. It's like when we were doing the breather scenes, I'm like, okay, I'll use them for a brief moment in the prequel. I don't need a full scene with them.
And Scrutinize, again, if you guys don't know, Scrutinize is a prequel 1 year before Welcome to the Game.
Correct.
And Welcome to the Game, Scrutinize, it's your own story. It's not based on any video
It's
game.
not,
right?
it's based off the video games,
Right.
but it's not from an actual video game that Adam's made. This is strictly just my story based on his character.
And of course, his story is 10 times longer. It's more characters, more development, more bloody, more gory.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I remember you saying this. You wanted to make the first one PG-13.
Yeah.
They're not PG-13. They're a lot more gore, language. And thank you, Derek.
This is rated
Thank
R.
you, Derek, for so much for making it rated R. First scenes. And I had so much fun working on Welcome to the Game. And unfortunately, I was late every day, but not by much.
Good job.
But I was
Good
working.
job.
Excuse me. But I made up for it in shooting and being there for editing and all that. And what was the worst scene you filmed, or the most hectic, most like aggravated like scene you shot in the first one? And we shot for 5 days, all at night, for like 7 hours. It was fun. It was great. Tiresome, but there were always some moments where it's like you just want to rip your hair out. So like, what were those moments?
With all due respect, you know, shout out to my grandma. I love you, but I gotta say it's Tuesday, which was filmed at my grandma's house, or for the story wise, when Clint Edwards arrives at his house, getting ready to go on the dark web. You know, it was awesome to get, just to even have a house, you know, 'cause especially since it was fully furnished, you know, because that was my biggest question was, are we just going to film in an empty ass house, you know, or whatever? But no, we got that. But a couple things. One, it was really hot. Two, it was really hot.
And three, guess what? It was really hot.
Yeah, it was unbelievably hot. Because my grandma's house, it's very old. We're talking 1890s it was built. So no central air back then.
Yeah.
So there's still no central air. But fun fact, she put in central air. She announced that.
Now she does it after everything.
But yeah, so it was very uncomfortable for a lot of the actors, especially for Luke. I know he himself didn't really complain, but I'm sure deep down in his mind he's like, this stinks. I hate it. Because he was wearing his jacket, and I told him, like, you don't need to have the jacket on, especially since you're inside your house. And he's like, no, it fits the character. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That's true. Usually people, I remember that. I remember looking back at that, and I was like, if you're in your house, don't you people take the shoes off, the jacket off to be more comfortable?
Yeah. Like,
get your scotch that is in the movie.
Yeah,
you know,
get yourself relaxed.
relax.
You know, if you're gonna go on the dark web, I'm gonna be in my pajamas.
I'm gonna just be like, all right, I'm gonna wait here. That I do remember that scene. That was horrific. You know, everyone was really had no air.
Especially for me, because I had to play as Lucas, and I was not thrilled about that, but I had to do it. And I had to wear a freaking suit. Like, I had to wear a full-blown tuxedo suit, and oh my gosh, brutal. And especially when I go in the attic, oh my gosh, that was horrific.
Oh god, that was the worst day. I had to contend with that.
I will say though, that was the most satisfying cold shower I took when I got home that night. It just, I was like,
just all the heat, just all steam,
just steam,
just marinating in the water. I remember that day. That day was rough, and I think that took the longest day.
But there were some fun moments. I mean, the attic scene is incredible because it's such an old house. When we were opening the attic, that creaky noise, it's so like that's no fill-in or add-on effect from Filmora or whatever. That was just natural sounds, and that's really what made it so good there. And then we had seeing the noir for the first time. That was great coloring too. I messed around with the color grading on that. Yeah, like there were good moments, but the biggest moment besides the heat had to be that we totally forgot to film the other half of the scene. That was bad, because what a lot of people, I'm sure some of you guys are here from Welcome to the Game, but what was originally supposed to happen was after Clint Edwards left the store because he escaped the breather, he was supposed to go back to his house, finish finding the codes or hashes, specific hashes, and then
Sean's
as soon as he gets the hashes and he gets the location mark, he walks out of his door and then gets punched by you.
Okay.
But it was 2 a.m. and we just only finished the first half. And at first, I totally forgot. So I remember me and Noah were high-fiving each other. Like, we were all so happy. And then Luke, who was playing Clinton Edwards, says, "Aren't we supposed to do the other half too?" And I was just like...
The moment of just...
Noah just walked out of the room. We were so mad. And so we... me and Safo had to make literally a quick executive decision. Like, it's like, okay, screw the first, the second half. Just when he escapes the store, he's about to go into his house, but then he gets ambushed. So that's what we had to do.
And that's the brilliant part of, I think, filmmaking, because you miss so many things. There's so many things going on. There's so many people you have to look after, and then there's that moment of just like, oh, can't believe. And then you're out of time. So then there's that quick decisions, and I think it actually
works.
It works. And I think it actually works. Maybe not as well as you want to complete.
I want it to be more polished up, but it does make sense. They don't want him to get the hashes. They don't want him to find the location.
Right.
Adam's just like, nah, bring him in, and I'm gonna talk to him.
Right.
So
I think I think it works better that way.
We also missed filming in the alleyway. That scene was butchered. That was it's still bad. I look at it, like, if there's literally a scene I would go back and film, it would be that one. I would literally go back and do it right now.
If we could. Scene did get rushed. I was there. Yes, it got rushed.
Yeah.
And and every day, I think we ended at 4 or 5:30. I remember the last day.
Well, we could have left at 4, but we just kind of sat in the grass doing nothing.
And I got home at 5:45, and then my mom woke up at 6 to go to work.
Dude, I had to go to work at 9:30. Yeah.
I think some people had to wake up at 8. It was nuts. So that was the worst day, John. We all kind of had the second day. Now, the best day. Best day, and I know the answer.
You already know. Day 4.
Day 4. Day 4 is the best day that we had.
Now, granted, that was the same day we butchered the alley scene, but skipping the alley scene, the actual store part where Clint Edwards is escaping from the breather, perfect. It's a perfect scene. All the floodlights, not the floodlights, but the red flashes that we used to make up the alarm. All the RGB lights, because that's what made, like, just the color, everything. Like, I had to do no changes to the color grading. It was just so good that I didn't have to do anything.
It was perfect. And the store location was fantastic. Shout out to the store that we use.
Sadly, they're closed now.
Yes, they are closing. But I remember you said in Scrutinize, we're going to go back to that in the prequel. It's like, oh, this is
going to be a great store coming soon.
This is going to be a great store, because that's all we boarded up. And remember, Scrutinize is a year. But that store scene, everything
was so good.
Was perfect. Yes, there are complications when you film. That's just the way it goes. But
there were some really funny moments too.
I just remember there's so many funny moments, but the moment I remember the most is Johnny and Noah yelling, "Action! Action! Hello, action!" And it's like, all right, cut. All right, where's Luke? Where is he? And Sean, my cousin, he goes, "Oh, he's eating McDonald's French fries."
It's like, what? Like, we were all prepped. Every camera was in motion. We were ready to go. No problems. And then all of a sudden, he's eating French fries. It's like, what?
All right, I guess we're taking our 5-minute break, eating lunch. And I think that's where our scenes really came alive, especially the breather and looking through everything. I think, Sean, you did a good job. And that day, you did a great job as the breather, and
the camera shots were incredible. And believe it or not, in this scene is the reason why Sam got involved.
Yes.
And it's the very specific shot I'll explain is it's after the breather escapes, and we see the Noah's character, and I forget, what was his name again?
Juan, the security guard.
Not Juan,
no,
Noah's character.
Oh, God, no.
The Prey. Oh,
Prey,
my gosh.
Yes.
Sorry,
Noah. Jeez, that's great. Now all the it's like, great. Now Noah's going to give us...
I'm the director, and I don't know my own name. But in fairness, Scrutinize has so many characters, so I'm, like, mixed up. But, The Prey. And then the security guard comes in, played by Juan, and he's walking around, and then all of a sudden, Juan shines his flashlight and gun alongside the camera, and it did like a motion blur. He walks away, the blur goes away, and then there's me at the end with a gun, and it is so good.
It's fantastic.
And Sam told me that specific shot is the reason why he's getting involved, because he said that shit that they do in movies, like real movies. So he said, if we can do that, he says he's curious to see what else we can do.
And it was so natural. Like, I don't think,
especially with the sound design, because I was doing that alarm, like boop, 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 boop. So the moment the blur goes away and the gun showing me, it goes boop, 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 boop. It's like, oh my god!
It was so precise. It was so perfect. And I remember it was so smooth and elegant, and it only took one take. Like, it was so smooth and elegant. It was fantastic. It was a great scene, great moment. Oh, I just remember that. And then other stuff happened, but it was so great. I love that so much.
Really, the only incident we had inside the store is when the store owner fell. That was the only.
There was the running scene at when Luke trips something, or it's when the scene where the breather says peekaboo. That type of scene, and they're running, and then all of a sudden, the owner of the store, he actually trips over our stuff and just makes it just.
I mean, Sean stayed in character, and he ran
kept
through
going,
it.
but just like we say, action, they're running, and then all you hear is. It's like. I was like,
because I was on the other side, so
yes.
we kind of had a boarded up room or dressing room, because it's such a small store, and that's where he tripped, and afterwards he just popped out of the board that we put in saying, "You guys okay?"
You guys good, right? You guys all right, yeah?
It's like, are you good?
It's like, are you good? You just messed up our take. He's like, no, are you guys okay? Are you guys good?
I didn't even look. I was thinking, oh my gosh, you guys stepped and destroyed all our stuff. Bro, what if you stepped on like a camera or something, dude?
Everything was on, so I don't even know I didn't even bother. I was just like you. I was just like, great, we'll just do another take. But no, those are the good and bad days of shooting film. There are so many, and with mine for 5 stages, there's gonna be good and bad days. I know it already. I mean, I have a series. I don't have just a week out. Mine's separated, but I know there's gonna be bad days. I know there's gonna be good days. And I want to ask you, shout out to my friend Jesus who gave me the idea for this question. What do you think is the most important part of using the equipment? Like, what do you think? Do you think the lighting's the most important? Do you think the cameras? Do you think the audio? What do you think for your film was the most important part? Filming.
I personally think that it's not just one separate piece of equipment. I think when you're looking at it in the perspective of the movie as a whole, you have to look at all the equipment as a whole.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is each piece of equipment that you use has to sync together, and it has to be like an orchestra.
Yeah.
Everything has to sound right. Otherwise, you got the one guy on the trumpet going, then it's gonna screw up. And that's the same thing here with the movie. You got the lighting just off; it's not gonna work. If the camera's not shooting right, it's gonna be off. Everything has to be right.
I couldn't agree more, and I just want to see because a lot of people say, okay, for this specific movie, or
Now, some certain scenes can have the lighting in that was really good. There's nothing wrong with it, but overall, you need to and especially visual storytelling, you have to let the camera, the lighting do the story for you, and that's why Welcome to the Game works so well, because that store scene, it just everything, just the music, the tensity, the lighting, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a tense moment.
Yeah, I think that's why that's what I was gonna go with, because that's the best scene, because the only audio is the radio. It's not about the voices. It's about the camera angles. It's about the lighting in that area. And I think that's what makes that scene probably the best part of the entire movie, is because of that lighting and the scene and the aura it gives. It's like, okay, this is supposed to be the suspenseful scene. Can we make it as suspenseful as possible? And
yes,
and yes, it was. I mean, if you don't watch it, you don't.
I forgot to mention though, to all you people saying, "Oh, why didn't you just go out the front door?" Well, it's locked, dummies.
It's locked. It's locked from the outside.
Right, and if he's trying to escape from the breather, if he's, what if he tries and yanks on the door and it doesn't close, and the breather's like,
And then it's the end of the movie, and then he kills him. And it's just to show, Thank you. And and there was other scenes, and I think probably the other best scene that we had was that had to do with the lighting was a little bit in Potawatomi Park. It's when the breather is standing there and it's just the black shadow.
Yes, that was
just
good.
the silhouette of the breather, and I think
then the breather sounds kick in.
Yes, and that's another one of those scenes where it's like it's just not just about the audio; it's about the lighting and the aura you give, and the kind of the sound effects you kind of give in the music aspect.
Yeah,
and
and it works so well with Potawatomi because the lights that they had on at night were just covered in bugs.
Yeah, I know,
spiders.
So it's creepy.
Yeah,
and
so
I was like, oh, okay. Why? It was so great. But shooting the scenes are hard, and I think for your movie, I think the lighting was probably the best part of your film because it organizes that silhouette of the organization and everything. Yeah, the dialogue obviously helps, but I think what really makes the movie really suspenseful is the dialogue and how the actors are actually saying their lines, but it's also those camera movements and the angles of the lighting and all that, especially the sound too.
Yeah, I've been told the sound design and the lighting are the best parts of the film. So
now for Scrutinize, it's longer. It's an hour and a half, or an hour 40 minutes.
2 hours.
Oh, it's 2 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 hours.
2 hours. What do I know? And I'm the executive producer. What do I know?
Yeah, 2 hours long.
Are you gonna focus more on the dialogue, lighting, camera areas? Are you gonna try and interpret all of them together?
All of it together. Well, there's gonna be a lot. I mean, first film, barely any dialogue. This film is a shit ton of dialogue because there's a lot to explain. Because that was the biggest problem with making Welcome to the Game was to the people that know the game, it's perfect for them. But to most people that haven't played it, they were like, cool movie, but what the hell is this about?
What's it about?
So in this film, I'm gonna try and help explain some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you have ideas. I'm guessing. I mean, you're the director, so I'm guessing you already have ideas of what type of lighting to use, what kind of camera angles you already have in mind, and stuff like that, right? So, what are you most excited for? I mean, don't just say the entire movie. I mean, there's always those specific scenes that you're always excited. So, what's that specific scene you're like? Or scenes, or even more than one. I mean,
that'd be spoilers, my friend. No, what I can say I'm really excited about is just telling a bigger story because, I technically the Scrutinized is what I wanted to do for the first film, but we just didn't have budget or anything.
No, we had no.
So to get the opportunity to make a film like this and really show, what I can do and what you guys can do. That's what I'm really excited for. I'm just really excited. Yeah, because again, this film is, and going back to 2018 when the first film came out, this is what I technically wanted to do. So what you're going to see here in this story is what I, really.
And it's his own personal origin story. He's creating it. It's going to be. I hope it's going to be great. And
I hope so too.
It's next year.
I'm not going to pull Ryan Johnson. I promise. I'm not going to pull Ryan Johnson.
Please no. Please, God.
No, I'm respecting the characters. I mean, maybe I'm changing some stuff that people might be like, but it's what I have to do.
Yeah, because you're adding you're trying to build that. Okay, now I can see why. Because
Lucas has a bit. I played Lucas Kamega, and it's like, well, I have no choice but to play as him because I really wanted him to be a part of Scrutinized, and I have to play as him.
Yeah,
I don't have a choice because I know there's recasts, but it's gonna be really crazy going from an Irish person to someone else. So
exactly. People are gonna be thrown off. It's like, wait, he had a red beard. Now he's black. Like now he's African. Like what's going on? And you're keeping most of the characters from the first one, right? Is it just a whole new? Like you're adding new and
whole new cast? Obviously, I've confirmed to Lucas. The breather does have a quick moment.
Sean, you have 10 seconds of film. Congratulations.
Yeah. Adam's in it. This is technically Adam's film. We are Joe Rosing, which by the way, fantastic actor, and shout out to him for doing all these cool movies. Seriously, he's doing great stuff after Welcome to the Game. It's really just his film.
Yeah,
it's his origin story of like how he thought, hey, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in this town. I could mess with these. I can have some fun.
Make a
with these people.
profit off of this.
No, not in the sense of where it's Saw. It's you know, and then you know you could look at it like that. Like it's Saw without the traps.
Okay.
It's Saw without the
yeah.
traps. It's
Okay.
just like he's giving people the chance to survive, and it's truly up to their. You know, I'm trying to think of the quote that he said. Oh yeah, they lost touch with the most essential instinct, survival. So that's what it is. So hey, if they can survive, they're good.
I'm so excited. I don't have much a role as I did last time. I play the Noir leader.
You'll have some.
I'll have
parts.
some parts, but I won't be in as much as the other people. But I'm so excited to be behind the camera, man. I'm so excited to be part of it. And do you still have? Are you going to be director, actor, producer? Are you going to be director of cinematography, or are you going to give that to our friend Noah? Are you going to ask someone else to? Do you have
It might just be just multiple people.
multiple
Involved.
people?
Yeah.
And how many camera guys do you think? 3, 5, 18? Two cameramen.
Because we
That's-
believe that we can just use because we're renting like a real movie camera.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
Sam.
alone is just gonna be.
that's good.
But our goal is just to use that for the main shots. He says maybe we'll have like one of like the Sony cameras
Yeah,
on
right.
set for like backup shots, but we're gonna try and mainly get everything done with one camera.
That's gonna be
So-
that's gonna be great. And I'm guessing you already have ideas for those oneers, or as in one takes. Do you have any ideas of how are you gonna do any big one takes or like that? Like how we did in Welcome to the Game, where you were walking through the house and on day 2, and you were looking through and doing all that stuff. Do you think? I know it's a year away,
Yeah.
but you like to have those minds.
You know,
in the
I really
in the
don't
back.
think that there is. I mean, I'm sure we can turn some of them into one takes, but overall, I think it's mainly just he just keeps cutting.
Just keeps coming back and forth, and I think.
But there's so many characters, and like we went from
Sure.
10. Most of us were the actors. in
Yes.
Welcome to the Game. Like Luke and Joe Rosing were the only people
And-
really for actors.
You know,
Here,
Derek Bratt,
actors
Derek, right?
alone, we went from them to now we have 25 brand new actors.
Yes.
So
Yes, we
that's
do.
what's really exciting about all this.
Yes, and I can't wait to start. And do you have an official date of when you're gonna start?
April of 2024. That's what
April
we
of
have set.
2024. Here we go. Here we come.
Yeah. Hey, as time's going quick, man. We only got 2 weeks of school, and technically we got 3 weeks till we
3
start 5
weeks,
stages
and we
of
start
Payback.
5 stages on May 20th. It's a Saturday. We start at night. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I'm and you were talking about how I am very pumped, but I'm so nervous, and I'm actually jittery right now thinking about it, because I just know with any film, anything's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
You just know that you just have to prepare.
But
for the
overall,
worst.
you should think more about the positives.
Oh, I'm thinking about I'm so excited when everyone comes together. I'm gonna thank everyone for being here, and then I'm gonna say action, then I'm gonna say cut, and all that. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited to shoot the first scene, and the trailer. And I'm hoping to get everything out by September, and the whole month of September. Each week will be a new episode. That's for 5 stages. But Johnny, I have nothing else for you. Johnny, thank you so much
Yeah,
for being
no.
here. Please check out Johnny's channel, Jaina Productions. I will give it in the link below, or I won't. Or you could just find it yourself, or find this beautiful, luscious, or just find. I'll just give it a link down below. Please check out Johnny's podcast as well, Under the Moon. I'm sure he'll have something for you guys soon. Thank you guys for joining. Please stay tuned next time when I have other guests. Thank you for joining JD Entertainment.